This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 26th day of March in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The PPP-nominated commissioners of the Guyana Elections Commission walked out of another GCOM meeting today. This time, the commissioners objected to elections for 2019 not being an issue for discussion. That's according to Commissioner Bibi Shadiq.
There was an agenda item, elections 2019. My question to the CEO is, does the Secretariat have a plan for holding elections in 2019 without house-to-house registration? He said no. And so, at that point, we left, because we are not going to sit there to discuss any elections after house-to-house registration.
But government-nominated Commissioner Vincent Alexander said as it is now, GCOM has no mandate for elections in 2019. He said he had no issue with the issue of elections being discussed, but it should not have 2019 attached to it when there is no mandate for elections this year.
And then we got to an item called elections. There were some issues. I took the position that the item could not be elections 2019 because where we are at now, the Commission does not have a mandate for elections in 2019. So that basically what we do, we continue our house-to-house registration, which does not interfere with the possibility of elections in 2019. But there is no mandate as we speak, given the decision of the court, for election in 2019. And therefore I objected to the agenda item being specific to 2019, but said that I have no problems with an agenda item that said elections.
The recent ruling by the Court of Appeal to invalidate the no-confidence motion has resulted in the government not being forced to call early elections. Even before that ruling, GCOM had already indicated that November would have been the timeline it was looking at for early elections. The opposition wanted a date much earlier and continues to be against house-to-house registration. GCOM has already started the process to begin the house-to-house registration exercise. More news coming up in just a moment.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways. Knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Here now. I want to switch over to GTT right now, no. Because all this time and money I waste on a call alone can just send up my blood pressure.
You've come to the right place.
Really?
Once you're switched over with our network, you can activate our Fab 5 plan. With our Fab 5 plan, you can enjoy free unlimited calls with 4 family and friends.
You got to be kidding me.
You will also get 5 gigabytes of data with 250 text messages.
You got to be kidding me.
And your chosen 4 can also call you for free.
You got to be kidding me.
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only $5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
Welcome back. Chartered accountant and attorney Christopher Ram has taken the first jump to the Caribbean Court of Justice, asking the CCJ to uphold the no-confidence vote against the government of Guyana. Ram's attorneys have filed their application asking the CCJ to overturn Friday's ruling by the Appeal Court of Guyana, which has invalidated the no-confidence motion. The move comes even before the Guyana Court of Appeal has provided the full and written judgments in the case. Mr. Ram is asking the Caribbean Court of Justice to reverse the majority decision of the Guyana Court of Appeal and to validate the no-confidence motion. In his opinion, the judges of the Court of Appeal in Guyana erred in their ruling that 34 votes were needed to pass the motion as against the 33 that were obtained in the 65-member National Assembly. He also wants the Caribbean Court of Justice to hear his appeal and render a decision within 7 days. The attorney also wants the CCJ to instruct the Guyana government to host elections before the 29th of April. The April deadline had previously been touted by the opposition leader Barra Jagdeo because it is at the end of April when the current voters list will expire. The Elections Commission will have no other choice but to generate a new voters list, and the generation of that new list will include house-to-house registration. GCOM has already been moving ahead with house-to-house registration preparations. RAM and the PPP have been pushing for elections before the expiration of the list. The Court of Appeal ruling last Friday, which has invalidated the no-confidence motion, has effectively put a hold of any rush into early elections and allows the government to continue with its business as usual without any hindrances. Other attorneys from the various sides are expected to file their appeals with the CCJ soon. Well, the Ministry of Natural Resources has rubbish reports that there is an effort to dispose and withhold mining lands for small miners in favor of the syndicates. In a statement last evening, the ministry said it strives to ensure equal access to mining lands and in fact has instituted a deliberate policy of righting the imbalance where small miners did not have sufficient access to lands. It said a recent demonstration of this was the distribution of mining lands via lottery last Friday, the first time in several years. The lottery exercise for mining lands will continue across the individual mining districts over a period of 3 months to ensure pre-qualified citizens are guaranteed a minimum of 1 mining block each, the ministry said. According to the statement, it is the belief and policy of the ministry that the nation's patrimony belongs to all of its citizens and should be accessed equally by all. It said any defamatory allegations imputing otherwise should be ignored. In the world of business, GTT is getting ready to take on the challenges and opportunities that will come with the emerging oil and gas sector in Guyana. GTT CEO Justin Nett today announced that the company has established a special department that will focus on the telecommunication needs of the oil and gas sector and the role his company will play in meeting those needs. At the Guyana Press Association event this morning, Mr. Nett said that data will be a big issue for the oil and gas sector, and GTT stands prepared to meet that need.
The hard work of this is actually when they're going to drill, right? That's the biggest risk of damaging the cable. And what they actually do is every time they go to drill, I wish if GWI and GPL would be this diligent, but every single time they go to drill, they actually write us, they wait for a no objection, and they provide the exact coordinates, and once that no objection is issued, they go ahead.
He said the company has been focusing on many of the challenges it is currently facing and has been making efforts to address those challenges. With the use of its fiber optic cables, Nett is convinced that the company will step up its services.
It's not only the internet, they need connectivity. So what the cable does is not only internet, but it could be, you could pass data. Data and internet is not the same thing. You could pass data. So they get lots of data from the FPSOs. They bring it here, they could send it to Trinidad, send it to Houston. The cables transport that data. And it's not necessarily over the internet. of course, for privacy concerns, right? Because the internet is a public network. The cable could also be used as a private network, and we have several customers that use the cable as a private transport network, separate from the internet.
Already, GTT has partnered with a number of companies in the emerging oil and gas sector for the provision of data and other needed services for telecommunications. At the Georgetown Magistrates Court today, a 31-year-old man was charged and remanded to jail for the murder of his own cousin. The accused, David Smith of the Cayone area in Region 7, was charged with the stabbing death of his cousin Dave Boyal. The two were reportedly involved in an argument when the accused used an arrow to stab the cousin to the abdomen. In court today, he was not required to enter a plea to the indictable charge. The incident took place on the 22nd of March. The accused will make his next appearance on the 10th of April. Across the region is coming up next.
GUYANESE is a proud Guyanese-owned and Guyanese-operated company, serving our nation for over 42 years. All the profits remain in Guyana and are used for the development of our country. So when you buy fuel and lubricants from GUYANESE, you are directly contributing to Guyana's economic development. Let's continue to build this nation together. Fuel up and drive with Super 95 from GUYANESE.
Fuel it up and drive!
Guyana! Extra Beer presents the youngest and the hottest dancehall artist, Alkaline.
We make it pass all of the drama. When them all pull up themselves, we keep it calm. I feel like my can conquer the world now.
The Conqueror.
Can't stand with Vendetta.
Live on Easter Saturday, April 20th, 2019 at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence. Music by DJ Magnum, Gully Russ, and Diamond. David Hyde, DJ Fresh, DJ Damien, and Andre. Bobby Kush from Jamaica. Super 8 one-man band. Alkaline Live. Alkaline Live. Easter Saturday, 20th of April, 2019. Early bird tickets $2,500. After $3,000. Stage front $15,000. Stay tuned. Tickets out soon. Guyana National Stadium, Providence.
Win big at this year's GMSA's Uncapped Marketplace by participating in the Savor the Flavor competition. Simply visit the booths and rate the products. Event starts at 10 hours on Sunday, March 31st at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence. See press for details or visit the Uncapped Facebook page. See you there!
Across the region right now, the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, is urging regional farmers to implement water conservation strategies to deal with the drought situation now facing the Caribbean. CARDI said the Barbados-based Caribbean Regional Climate Center is warning that some countries in the Caribbean are more likely to experience drought conditions this dry season as a weak to moderate El Niño becomes more likely. The center said the drought conditions could most likely last until the end of this month, and it has issued warnings for Barbados, the Cayman Islands, and Suriname, while Antigua, Northern Bahamas, Southeastern Belize, much of Cuba, Dominica, Northern and Eastern Dominican Republic, Northern French Guiana, much of Guyana, Eastern Jamaica, Martinique, Northwestern Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands have been placed on a drought watch. In neighboring Venezuela, the Venezuelan government today told workers and students to stay at home as the country faced a second day without electricity. Hospitals, public transport, water, and other services were affected. The capital of Caracas was first plunged into darkness yesterday. Power was restored 4 hours later before a second blackout struck. A days-long nationwide power cut earlier this month prompted looting and desperation in parts of the country. President Nicolas Maduro's government blames the power cuts on an attack by the opposition. The opposition cites 2 decades of underinvestment and corruption by the socialist government as the cause of the power outages. And finally tonight, international news. Algeria's army chief of staff has demanded that the President Abdelaziz Bouteflika be declared unfit to rule after weeks of protests against him. Speaking on television, Lieutenant General Ahmad Gaid Salah said that the country must find a way out of the crisis immediately within the constitutional framework. The president has already agreed not to stand for a 5th term in the upcoming elections, which have been delayed. Demonstrators accused the 82-year-old of a ploy to prolong his 20-year rule. Talks have been set up to oversee the country's political transition, draft a new constitution, and set the date for elections. But they do not yet have a date to start with. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. Gordon Mosley reporting.